guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk? And I'll add spinach and ginger. And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Final round robin action here from the Saville Shootout. Rolling Stadium, Edmonton. We've had the action all weekend long. Go down to the last round robin draw and featuring a women's matchup here between Kaytlyn Laws, Kayla Skrlik. I've got the standings up in front of me. There is a possibility on the women's side that you need 3 wins to make the playoffs. 2 and 2 won't even make a tiebreaker. Now it depends on a couple of games. But at the conclusion of this draw, there could be 8 teams at 3 wins or better, and all of the 2 and 2 teams would be eliminated. So, big game here for both of the teams. For Kaytlyn Laws, guaranteed she's got a spot in the playoffs, but she may have to go 4-0 to guarantee that she's got one of the top 4 seeds, which would give her hammer, I believe, in the quarterfinal. Getting us underway, throwing the Redstones. This is Kristen McEwish. Jocelyn Peterman is the second for this team. Interesting that Kaytlyn Laws throws the skip stones, but Selena Negavan now skipping the team in the house. Throwing the third stones. Kayla Skrlik with last rock here in the opening end of play. They're going to come around that center guard. The lead, who's also the vice, holds the broom for Kayla, is Jerry Lynn Ramsey. Ashton Skrlik is the second. Argo Fleming throws the third stones, and Kayla Skrlik, the skip, in the house. Has a lot of room coming by. They've already switched up to try to get a little bit more curl. Gets into the 8-foot, maybe a sliver under cover, but it is still mostly exposed. Heel weight, we're going to assume that's the hack, and Mr. McGewish gets a chance to play a hit here in the first end. Early indication this is a little more weight than they intended, sweeping for curl. Might be better off to go by it now. They just rub it in behind cover. Chance here in this opening end for the Skrlik team to sit 2 spread out with last rock. might have left that high enough in the rings as a chance to hit and roll. If you don't nudge out of the yellow, at least get underneath it in front of the tee line for shot rock. Hold on the breath right away. This is Jocelyn Peterman. Looking for the hit and roll, but this is going to be over curling. Very quiet rate, almost doesn't get it out the back, and does hang on to the edge of the 12-foot with the shooter. Talked about just drawing to the corner. It's not a bad call. It's just maybe not something you want to play in the first end. Both teams did get a practice session before the game and threw the draw to the button to determine who has last rock, but so much of that practice session is play from the corner to the middle that to try to draw the corner on the first end is a little scary. And I have to admit, I didn't notice through the practice session that Margot Fleming wasn't out there. I thought they had two sweepers when they didn't notice that they only had a single brusher. But she's not out there right now. Jerry-Lynn Ramsey throwing three, so they're playing shorthanded. That is interesting. I had to peek back myself. So she makes the hit here, but I was peeking at the replay from the practice session. Margot Fleming was out there for practice, so I don't know if something happened, whether she injured herself late in practice or perhaps she's not feeling well, so she was out there just for the practice session to help everybody out. But regardless, they're playing the game shorthanded in a must-win game for that team. See her behind the glass with Coach Shannon Clybrink. Hit. It was just a bit to the outside. I'm not sure that stuck around in the rings. It's got to be close. Kaitlyn Law is going over to just take a look whether or not the pinhole looks to be dead center. And I think that indication is she thinks it's out, but I don't think she's by any means certain. Certain enough that she's going to try the run back here. Looking to run the guard straight back. Would love to stick it in behind cover. Makes the run. Does keep the redstone in the rings, but it does roll out into the open. And everybody wants to take a look at that yellow stone and decide if it's in. With the hit, going to roll all the way across though and out the back. Looks like the Laws team has decided they think it's out. They're going to ignore that stone on the outside edge. Play the come around on the guard. that the Rushers want to go, but they're waiting on the line, starting to move now. They will go sideways. Skrlik being asked to make the run. You saw Kayla look over the shoulder just to see if it ended up on that Yellowstone in the back. Would it be in the ring? I don't think it would. Well, I'm not sure she got out to the broom on this one. She may not make contact with the guard at all. Goes by everything. Skip stones left to come. And I didn't see the indication. Of course, both players down there, they talked about it. I don't know whether she's going to try to come right in or throw a second guard. If you could freeze right to the face of your own stone in the 8th, but that's the best case scenario, because then even if she makes a run, she's got to leave one in there. Kaitlyn Laws with her first, without last rock here in the first end, already sitting one buried. Going to lock this right down on the face of her own stone. It's pretty good. Kayla's really got no chance but to play, no other choice but to play the run back. Now, there is enough of an angle there. She might be able to get all three of them. She hits it just right, but she's going to have to leave her shooter right there, so there'd still be a come-around opportunity, and it's not a gimme to get all three of them out. Kayla Skrlik with her first, looking for the run back. On the brush right away. Makes the hit. Catches the second, catches the third. They all fly out of the rings. Great shot by Kayla Skrlik. Does leave the guard. There was no way she could avoid that. Ashton Skrlik just missed the run back, so she was really ready to sweep on this one. Did a great job holding the line. All three of the Reds leave. Kaitlyn Laws still with her final stone, a chance to come down, sit maybe even full fourth, which would come just a little bit deeper than the last one. Steal is still a possibility, and the force not out of the question. Here's the other thing: if she leaves a piece and Skrlik is able to make the hit and roll out, you might see that yellow stone on the outside edge get measured. I think both teams think it's out, but if it's the only one left at the end of this next two shots, you might see it get measured. A lot more room early. And a sweep for curl now. At least if you bury it, you've got a chance for the force. mostly behind cover. It is deep. Looks like she's just going to follow it down and try to take her single. Coughed a little bit here for Kayla Skrlik because this is just the first end. It does look more natural. You're playing a draw here to just draw to the button or the out turn, but this is the first end to play, and hasn't been a rock down that pass since practice. So this is throw the path you just saw, even if it was the other team throwing it. Just the one brusher and already switching to the offside. She's got a lot of weight and a lot of curling to do. And it's just not going to come up enough for her. It slides by the red stone. Kaitlyn Laws picks up the steal to open things up here in this final round robin game. She'll take the 1-0 lead. Here's Bill this last round.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Second end underway. The tight center guard to stop, to start the end, stops just a little bit off the center line. Taking the corner guard now. Looking at the come around. Last team. It's too early in the season and too late at night. One of these, you can't have Kayla playing Kaitlyn. I'm going to mess one of these up sooner or later. During the break, my production manager Connor Sims and I both looking through the pregame, and Mark Fleming is definitely out there for the pregame, so I'm not sure what's going on with her. She is behind the glass. So if there was any kind of injury that took place in the pregame, we didn't see it. She might be feeling slightly under the weather and wanted to be out there so that they had that fourth player for the all-important draw to the button, but obviously not feeling well enough to play the game. Kaitlyn Laws indicating she touched that rock on the way by. Not sure if it moved or not. I'm cheating and looking at the replays. She did just touch it. If it moved, it was very little. see a piece of the rock in the ring, if you ever hit the stone out front, that's a free guard zone violation. So we're just going to come around the corner for now. Coming in here. Skrlik helping it finish the end. It's just about fully 8 foot. It is shot rock, but it is buried. To get to the face of their own. They certainly didn't make a definitive call here, I don't think. Certainly want to make sure they get by the one out front. Does get to the face of her own. Really nice shot, well swept. It was the 5th rock of the end, so here comes the hit attempt on the guard. Hard to get all 3 of them this time because if to hit it on the nose, the red that you're hitting first is coming towards that yellow. So you probably try to get it over the face. And that means the red that was just thrown isn't going to go very far. The way they were looking to hit it. Did touch the 3rd stone, but that's only enough to put the red into the 8 foot for shot rock. And a chance now for the Raz team to go after the guard that's protecting the yellow stone in the 8 foot. Hit straight peel on that guard. Now being asked to make the play on that redstone shot rock. Just move it back. I think the call was just to get it to the back 12 foot. They want to get as close to the nose as they can here. The tap pushes it to the back 8. Still got a little nibble at a 4 foot. The angle's probably there to double the yellows, but you run the risk of putting it in with that red. So just going to make the direct play onto the second shot rock. hit. She gets a little bit of a roll towards the center line, enough to sit 2. Kayla Skrlik asking Ashton to make the tap back yellow onto the redstone at the back. It doesn't have to get all the way to the face of it. You could just tap it to the full 4 foot in front of that stone. It would be great. Oh, she's going to get enough curl. Probably a little more weight than what they had in mind. Certainly more weight than the last one. Yellow that was tapped back is shot rock, but it's also fully exposed. Looking to get to the inside, try to roll in. You saw her indicate right out of her hand. She thinks she's a little warm. Wants to get to the inside. Will just get to the nose. Laws 6-3. But still room to get to the inside. Try to get the ball under cover. Now that rock being a little bit higher. She gets the roll to the edge of the 4 foot. Probably splitting key line at worst. She shouldn't be deep. The lone brusher already switching to the other side to try to get some curl. She's got to get to the inside of this. And hits well on the outside. Stuffs it on the rock at the back. It does kill one of them. Laws continues to sit 2. Without last rock yet. Skip stones left to come. She is looking at, I think, playing a hit on the yellow. Yellowstone at the top 12 foot, just 3rd shot, but it's in such a good position to be promoted. And at the same time, Kaitlyn Laws knows you just hit this on the nose. She's coming around on the probably on the out turn side. Not much you can do about that. This rock just too dangerous. Brush down right away, but just cleaning. Now picking it up a bit. Starting to curl. She'd like to hit this right on the nose. Going to over curl that a little bit. Boy, almost not enough weight to get it through the back. Through the rings, still in play. Does give Skrlik the chance to play the in-turn draw through the court to get to the freeze at the back. bury this behind the yellow corner guard. You're just nibbling the top of the forefoot. But if you had to come to the back one to make sure you're not drawing against 4 on your last one, you'd take that. Must-win game for the Skrlik team. They come in with a record of 2-1. 3 wins on the women's side will guarantee you a spot in the playoffs. 2 relying on that draw to the button tiebreaker. Nice line coming in if it's all the way to the freeze. Hard to bury in the top of the house coming by with that much room. About half behind cover. That's interesting. That could be enough to force a decision for Kaitlyn Laws. You could follow it down, sit in front of it, maybe get shot rocked that way. There's room to pick it out, even if you take the one behind it with it. Try to get rid of it. The nice thing about that, I don't think she can hit the yellow thick enough to ditch Anna. She'd have to be really tight by the guard and then have a little bit of finish on it. I think she's probably throwing the kind of weight where that shouldn't be an issue. Almost greedy. They tried to hang it on for a bite at the back corner, so she is sitting 3. Kayla Skrlik will have to draw against the 3. Try to pick up her single. Same shot she just threw. Final stone second end. Trailing 1-0 and facing 3. Kayla Skrlik needs to almost bite the forefoot here. This is definitely curling earlier than her first one did. Going to get into a different path. Jerry Lynn Ramsey coming out to help on the brush. Needs to drag it to the forefoot. And they will get a solid bite of the 4. They pick up their single point. We're all tied up after 2 ends of play. It'll be Kaitlyn Laws with last rock in the
3rd. That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made your way.
Tied up at 1 apiece as we begin play here in the third. The center guard attempt to start the end off. Again, a little off that center line. Looking for the come around. Just a shade short of a 4 foot, and it is only about 3/4 buried. Pretty good spot. Made there. Been a common theme through this game so far. There's a little bit of jockeying for position until first 5 rocks are thrown in. Trying to move some guards. Like to corner the yellow this time. Kayla looking at the out turn come around to corner free shot rock. Cleaning early, kind of waiting for the line call here. It's got to be close. Might have waited just a little bit too long. She's a great line coming in, but it comes up a few feet short. And as I alluded to earlier, that was the 5th rock at the end, so now the peel on the guard can happen. I think they're just playing a straight peel here. There is the possibility you could hit yellow onto the red and clip it across. Oh, just missed it. I think that red into the yellow probably still goes by the red and the rings, but it wasn't critical to get that. That was just a bonus if you happen to catch it. Skrlik being asked to put the guard back. Peterman being asked once again to make it go away. A little thicker this time. does touch it. Well, that is interesting, the way they're lined up now. Lineup in the house now definitely favors Kayla Skrlik, but doesn't have to do anything with it yet. Looking to play the guard. Does mean that the Laws team isn't going to be able to just peel right through this end. One disadvantage for us, the viewers, or at least me, the commentator, I can't hear the players. So when the two of them are already down at that end, there's nobody pointing to say what they're playing. I think it's a straight peel. I don't think she's trying to make contact with anything in the rings, although you saw Kaitlyn look over her shoulder. She does want to be aware of where everything is. Straight peel on the guard. Ashton Skrlik being asked to put the guard back. He did indicate that they wanted to get this to the center line and guard the Yellowstone. It's touching center. You got to be a little careful here. At some point in time, if you leave the red-yellow combination on the outside, Kaitlyn's going to play it. Might be now. The angles in the house, really not great for Kaitlyn Laws right now, but this is your chance to change one of them right away. You could play the red onto the yellow. It's still probably spilling back to the outside of that yellow rock. Throw this with quiet weight. You could probably hang your shooter on the corner as well. They could still just run the guard. They're talking about it. Just peel it off. I'm not talking about running it into anything. Guess you could kind of try that too. So they're going to peel the guard. I'm not clear from the discussion whether they're going to try to clip that red on the way by. If you clip the red, you drive the yellow across the face of the red, just clip it thin into the yellow touching the center line. You can at least change the angles there, even if you just get a whisker of it. The nice thing for the Laws team here is, yes, the angles in the house kind of favor the Skrlik team as far as being able to get at shot rock, but once she moves it, she's not going to have anything very well protected in the house. Oh, just misses that one in the rings again. I have to think with that broom, they're looking at just throwing the guard one more time. And if she does, it'll be interesting to see what Kaitlyn Laws does here. You peel the guard one more time, she makes the play on the stones in the rings, and you're probably forced. But if you try to go after 2 or perhaps 3, there is some risk of leaving a way out for Kayla Skrlik. First things first, she's got to make the guard. It's going to be a tight guard. And if anything, probably overcurled. I think Kaitlyn still has the option to play that red onto the yellow that she looked at the last shot. Could try to come right around everything on the out-turn side as well. Looks like what Kristen's looking at. I see from the name on her jacket, as much as it says McEwish on my program, it's Kristen Gordon now. The problem with coming around everything to try to sit 2 is if you're just biting the forefoot at the top, the red-yellow is probably going into the one that you're about to throw. If you get too much deeper, she follows it down. And the problem with this shot is that it's almost one shot too late to get anything out of it. You're still not going to have a way to get that yellow out of the top of the forefoot. You're only going to have 1 rock left after this. Kayla Skrlik at the back, trying to stay warm. I have to admit for myself, it's been a long time since I played in the Saville Center. Don't know how cold it is out there, but I see Selena Negovin is holding the broom for this game, is quite bundled up. I saw another winter jacket somewhere along the weekend. Now, the dilemma here for the lost team, there's no real 100% safe place to put this rock. If you were going to play the red-yellow, you almost had to play it on the last shot. And if you're going to play this come around, the question is now, how deep do you try to put it? I think you have to be deep enough that that red-yellow combination doesn't line up into it, so you're going to have to be full 4 foot anyway. And you still have to come tight by that rock in the 8 foot. Try to bury a piece underneath it. Kaitlyn Laws with her first. Sitting 1. Trying to come around a stone in the top of the 8 foot to sit 2. Has to bury a piece. Line's getting tight now. Gonna have to go to get it by, I think. Oh, and just by. And she does get almost full 4 foot. Sits 2. Deep enough that if she did want to play the red-yellow angle into it, she's not going to be shot rock. And she'd open up more room to get a second point. If you could hit and stay pretty much right there, there's not going to be a lot of room to score 2. Not sure what somebody's seeing something from the other end. Has she got another shot in mind? Well, she'd get rid of the red like that, but she's going to open up a lot of room, I think. It looks to me like the yellow will clip the top and roll away. She thinks it might stay right there. If she's right, it's the shot to play. It's hard to tell. She's at ice level. She's got a better view of it than I do. She thinks it'll dead stick right there. She needs to be right on this. Boy, if anything, she's a little full. The thinner she hits this red one, the worse could be. Well, it did get over the top of that red, but it rolled far enough. I don't think the double's there for 3. Now, can she nose hit the red? Would it go by? Probably doesn't hold the red stone. So that's just for 2. She may as well play the draw. Selena went and took a look at it. I mean, you could play the red-yellow. It's probably there for 2, but I don't know how you're holding both the shooter and the red stone that you're making contact with first. one of them is probably rolling too far. So that would only be for 2 anyway. Tied up 1 apiece as we play here in the third. Kaitlyn Laws with 1 in the forefoot now, with her final stone, looking to make it 2. Line's going to be good. Now, can they get a big enough piece of the forefoot? Boy, and they just one brusher for quite a ways down. It comes up just a little bit short. Kaitlyn Laws does pick up her single. She'll retake the lead, but it's just a single point now. 2-1 over Kayla Skrlik. Skrlik will have last rock in the fourth.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
There's that red rock in play. Kristen Gordon with the first stone gets the center guard up, and this time it looks like it's touching center. We've had a couple of the center guards early in this game that were just a little bit off. Nobody has yet tried the tick shot anyway. Jerry Lynn Ramsey being asked for the corner guard here. Selena Negevin already with the broom down, playing the out-turn come around. Plenty of room by the guard, but they will curl hard late. Just didn't have the legs. If that's full forefoot, it's probably dead buried. As it is, just got a piece in behind cover. And these shots always get a little bit more tricky now that we play the no-tick zone. Like you'd like to play traditionally, you'd like to tight ice this and make sure you touch something, but you have to be careful with that now. You touch the guard on the way by, push it off the center line, everything goes back. Changes the way you call these shots a little bit. Instead of making sure you touch something, you have to make sure you get by. And this is what can happen when you do that. She gets by a ton. She's going to tap that red further in behind cover. The shooter rolls open. chance for Jocelyn Peterman to hit and roll under. Sit 2 buried. This is the 5th rock of the end, and then Kayla Skrlik will have to start cleaning up the middle. Gets the hit, rolls across, just a little out from behind the guard, cornered on her own stone. Allows Skrlik to try to make a play directly on the stones in the rings. This is still, the 6th rock of the end. The free guard zone not an issue. The no tick zone not an issue. So she can play this one a little tighter. Might have played out a lot tighter. Ashton Skrlik with the broom down right away. Not going to get by the front one. And with that quiet weight, may not push it through the rings either. She does get a double corner out of it on the other side. Time will tell whether or not she gets a chance to use that or not. For now, Peterman will look to guard, and if she can put it up on the center line, Skrlik may have no choice now but to try to clean things up in the middle. Pretty good guard. It is longer than they would have liked. The line's really good. So with that amount of separation between the guard and the rocks and the rings, they're going to play the hack waiter, try to jiggle things around in the house. Love to get to the nose here. Pop one red through the back and have the other one bounce out into the open a little bit. Leave your shooter in a good spot. It's got a lot of curling to do if it's going to get anywhere near the nose, though. Gets rid of the back one, but leaves the top one still mostly behind cover. Shooter's in a good spot. Hard for, that's what you see Kaitlyn looking at. It's really hard for them to roll back towards center. They just roll into their own. I'm sure she'd like to be able to come off the front of her own rock and spin up. I'm just not sure it's high enough for that. That's the indication, but I'm just not sure it's there. Come into the side of your own and just nudge it a little farther behind cover might be okay. It still might not leave any kind of double. Little wobble there. Gets the hit, does come across, nudges her own. Put it a little further behind cover. There is probably a double. I'm not sure you can hold the shooter, though. Could just play it as a hit and roll. You're probably touching the second rock, but won't get it all the way out of the rings. Pop it out into the open, though. Get the roll in behind that double corner. We wondered after it rolled over there if there'd be a chance to use it later on. On the brush right away on this one. By the front one. And will make the hit on the red stone of the 8-foot, but drives it by the one in the 4-foot. Stays right there. Still, you have to think if she could make a nose hit with that kind of weight, there's room to get to the inside, flop under cover. This is a chance as we get late in this fourth end for Selena Negevin to put some big pressure on. Obviously not the rock she was intending to throw, so she had to go to the corner and switch. Just never know. We haven't had a chance to listen to the players, or at least I haven't. I can't hear them on the production feed. So we don't know whether they're throwing the rocks straight up or if they've got a set order that they like to throw them in. They've played enough events at the Saville Center that they may have their own book on what order to throw the rocks in. Sometimes late on a Saturday night, you forget the order that you had pre-planned. Gets to the nose just enough to tap it through. Now it looks like there should be room to make the double and roll behind the corner. And you'd be shot rock. The first call from Ashton was whoa, but starting to curl now. Got to get close to the nose. This might be a jam. Did she get the roll? Got the roll in behind cover, but didn't get the second red out. It is open, but still shot rock in the 8-foot. I think the yellow is second shot. I'd almost need the overhead to see for sure. There we go. Thanks, Connor. Yellow is second shot. And the shot stone, as I said, still open back of the 8-foot. So critical to get this in for second shot. If you could bury this at the top of the 4-foot, just nibbling the top of the 4-foot. The deeper you go, the easier it is to get at. But you still at least got a force in play and perhaps a chance for the steal. You don't want to over curl this as you come by the guard, and there is the chance that it could do that. You poke out the other side, Kayla will have the chance to hit and roll on top of that red. 3 could be in play. Plenty of room by the guard. Got to get it in for at least second. And they will not. That's going to come up short. Kayla Skrlik. She could go after shot stone at the back of the 8-foot here, but you do it, you make it any good. You know Kaitlyn Laws is going to come around those double guards in the middle and try to take the end away like that. You've got to get there first. You get there first, you're definitely going to have a chance. Well, you'd hope you'd get a chance for 2. Certainly put Kaitlyn Laws in a spot where she's got a tough shot to play. Got to be shot rock here. Cannot be behind the tee line. And this one's curling hard. I'm not sure she's got the weight either. They at least get it in for third. Well, they do. It's in for third. Which puts a little bit more pressure on Kaitlyn. She was short on her last draw attempt. Can't afford to be short here. If you ever slid deep, you might leave a double. I mean, the stone in the back of the 8-foot is open now. So if you slide back 8 foot on this, you could leave the double off of it for 3. So you can't afford to overcompensate for the fact that you were just a little light. Been light on a couple of draws. She was light on the attempt for 2 as well. And on the other side of it, there's room here. She could bury this, catch a piece of the button. This could be a steal. Looks to have nice line, but they're not touching it. Will slide to the back, and how far back? Boy, I think she's left the double. It's even, if anything, it's a little on the thin side, and it's for 3. Definitely makeable. Big shot here for Kayla Skrlik, trailing by 1. She's also one of these teams at 2-1 coming in that she could clinch her own spot in the playoffs by getting a win. If she loses this one, she needs help. They're on this for line. Is she going to be thin enough? Makes contact, comes across, touches the red stone, doesn't move it far enough. It will be a steal of 1. Kaitlyn Laws dodges a bit of a bullet here, actually picks up a single point of her own. She now has a 3-1 lead after 4 ends of play. Kayla Skrlik with last rock once again in the 5th.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to therockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, The Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Big steal for Kaitlyn Laws in the fourth end to take a 2-point lead. It was an opportunity for Kayla Skrlik to perhaps get 3, and just a little too thick on the first one, goes over the top. It's a steal of 1. Center guard to start the end once again, just a little bit off the center line. Corner guard goes up. Now the come around attempt on that center guard. Jared Ramsey will attempt to follow that down, sit right on the face of it. Gets down to the face of it, but nudges it just a little bit and rolls. So she's not quite in front of the red stone at all. And now it's tight to get by the red and push the yellow past everything. Could probably freeze the inside corner of it. Going to make the attempt to get it by. There's room. Not going to get by the front one. We'll split it into the rings. And the shooter hangs around on the edge as well. But that does clear the center line. Kayla looking to make a play on the stone that is actually fourth shot right now, but it's cutting off the access to her corner guard. So you play the nose hit here. It's available to tap or come around a double corner. If you overcurl a little bit, roll in, you're probably in the rings. Doesn't want to roll towards center at all, but that's what they're going to end up with. Oh, ends up in actually a pretty good spot. Angles the yellows onto the red. I think all they can do really is make a play on the back yellow. And she can see enough of it to make a play on it directly and hold the shooter somewhere. Don't think you can leave the two yellows the way they are. Makes the hit, does roll across. Sits 2 for now. There is a double there, but you're going to group the Yellowstones. You could just play the hit and roll behind the corner, and I think that's what they're going to opt for. Makes the hit, gets the roll towards the corner, but still mostly open. Really flat to try to roll into that yellow, and you'd sure hate to push it further in behind cover. Has to roll on this one if she just knows that they can hit the shot stone, sit 2. This is going to have to curl to stick around. She'll make the hit behind the yellow and all the way across the rings and out of play. Laws sits 1 in the 4-foot. Second shot in the 8-foot belonging to Skrlik. It is just fully open. She's going to make a play on the shot stone and try to roll to the other side. Keep her rocks separated. We're into third stones now. Makes the hit, rolls over to the corner. Does sit 2. That's a great roll. She's got as much separation there as she possibly could. Kaitlyn Laws and her team are going to have a little bit of work to do if they're going to get those yellows close enough together to maybe have a chance for a double later on. Selena Negovin looking for the hit and roll across here with hers, with her last stone at the end. Gets the hit. Gets the big roll. Now will it stop in time to be shot? Oh, what a great shot. That is no easy task to group those two rocks from that far apart with just one. You're hoping to get over there somewhere in the neighborhood and hope that you're going to have a chance for a double later on in the end. I almost think it doesn't matter where Kayla Skrlik rolls now. There's going to leave a double. Look at this great roll. Has to be shot rock, too. If you're not shot, she doesn't even have to play it. But now when she plays it, she hits it right on the nose. There's definitely a double. As she rolls back towards the center, she's going to get deeper the farther she rolls. And I think you could come off that side when I make the double. Skrlik looking for the roll here. He'd like to get some separation. She's not going to get it. Well, you wanted to double. There's definitely one there. Question is there any way you can hit this to try to spin away so you're not leaving one back? And that's what they're looking at right now. Could she hit? I guess it would probably have to be the outside one first. Catch the front end of the second one and spin up a little bit, make the double back at least difficult. I would bet she's not going to be light on this one. Goes off and on. That should mean she's close. Gets the hit, spins across, and actually up on top of her own. Skrlik indicating to play the long roll. I don't even think you want it. You make the roll behind cover, you're going to be so deep. Kaitlyn Lawes is going to freeze down to you, and you're going to be looking at a force. Make the double, roll into the 8 foot, let Kaitlyn Lawes hit it, and then you get a chance for your blank. Have to be a little careful with this double. I mean, they're so close together and almost lined up. If you ever rolled out on this, Kaitlyn Lawes could come around the corner and at least get the force. And this might have been inside. They're on the brush hard right away. Gets the hit, but she crossed it a bit, leaves the top one at the edge of the 12 foot. Anywhere in the rings would get a chance for the force. You don't have to bury it. I like what Selena's looking at. You could take away the draw path on her. But don't mind this either. And I think part of this, it comes down to if you take the draw path away from her, unless you're just biting the top of the 12 foot, she could hit it on the nose anyway. And to just bite the 12 foot, you're flirting with not biting the rings, and then she's got a chance for the blank. So play the come around. You were already prepared for it anyway. It's in your mind, I'm sure. Final stone for Kaitlyn Lawes without last rock here in the 5th. She's got a 2-point lead, already sitting 1, a chance to split the rings and at least get the force. It's got a ton of room. Comes to rest, biting the back of the forefoot. It is fully in the open, though. Final stone of the fifth end. Kayla Skrlik facing two, needs the nose hit to pick up her single. In a must-win game. Brushed down early, but the line is holding. Just cleaning all the way down. She will make the nose hit, stays right there in the forefoot. She picks up her single point. Closes to within one, but Kaitlyn Laws with a 3-2 lead, and she will have last rock. When we come back for the sixth end, you're watching the Saville Shootout, final round-robin draw for the women's side, live on the Curling Stadium Network.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Three to two as we begin play here in the sixth, and a recurring theme here in this game, that center guard not quite on the center line. Now they're going to ignore it, come around. Come around, stops full 12 foot, doesn't really get in behind. Jerry Lynn got up, did a little bit of house cleaning right away. I don't know whether there was something maybe under her slider. Does look like she spun the rock to get it all the way to the other end, so maybe she felt something under the rock. That's a pretty good recovery if that was something under the rock. Not exactly what they wanted, but it is in play. She's left herself a port to get at shot rock. Kristen Gordon will look to come right around everything. See if she can't bury one top of the forefoot. almost need this to stop because now that port is there for the double on the reds if you want to play it. Now, the fact that you're down one without, she's going to look at playing the freeze. Needs some rocks in play right now. If you ever played that double and made it, you'd see at least one of the guards get peeled, and there might be a shot to get them both. Boy, it took its time getting over there, but does get to about, well, originally it was 3/4 with the little bump. She still stays half in front of it. Double peel attempt coming here. Fairly thin on the first one to try to catch the back end of the second. And carry through. If you just go dead into the side of the second one, you're actually going to leave them a better guard. Got one, catches it a little too thick. Now, it did spill back to an interesting position. That's all Kayla Skrlik's got to work with, though, for right now, so she's going to use it. Try to freeze on her own, get a piece under cover. Kayla Skrlik coming out to help. Not going to get it to the rings. Does protect the Yellowstone in the rings. Just going to play the straight peel, or are they trying to get two? Talked about trying to get all three. I don't think they'd be playing this turn if they were looking at that. This might be straight peel. That's what they get. I thought Kayla might look at, and I know she's down, but I thought she might look at the double on the reds. It's a nose hit double. That red's in a dangerous spot. You make the freeze, they could run the red into your yellows. Jerry Lynn making her way down. I think she wants to see what the angles look like in the house. Does look like if you don't make some kind of play on that red, it's angled pretty well to run the red into the yellow. They're looking not necessarily at the double, but to to get the hit and roll across to the other side of the guard, then you'd have the yellow, yellow, red lined up really well. Tough to do that. You can't see a lot of daylight between the guard and that stone in the 12-foot. So they are going to make a play on it. Quiet wait. She'd like to get across the face. Not really worried about moving the one on the button just yet. This needs to finish. It's going to rub the yellow on the way by. Probably get away with the red at the back of the 4-foot is still shot. They left the shooter in a really good spot. Yellow, red, and the 4-foot is still accessible too, but this stone's just too dangerous. You got to make a play on it first. Try to stay right there, then it's a rock you can use. Gets a little bit of a flop. It's probably still good where it is. You could get to just all of it if you had to. Looks like they're trying to just tap this to frozen then. Line's really nice coming in. You're actually in danger. You over curl this, you might not get shot. Does stay just a little bit on the high side. Taps it back, and she does. Sit shot in the 4-foot. Leaves her shooter in a pretty good spot too. The yellow, yellow, red still lined up. Kind of think Laws has to play the red onto the yellow. And if you're a little thin on the first one, you play it onto the one that was just thrown. You might get a better angle that way too. You're not looking to throw this with big weight, I wouldn't think. Back line to hack is probably lots here. Looks like she's playing it directly onto what is actually third shot. So playing it onto third shot is plan A. Make sure the yellow goes away. Get the shooter off that center line area too. Could have 4 red ones in the rings after this. That puts a little pressure on Kayla Skrlik without last rock. Just needs to curl a bit. Gets the run. Enough to stick it. The shooter will roll all the way out of play, though. Still sits second, third, and fourth. Probably could get it to enough of that redstone if she had to play red onto yellow. Skrlik's got to get something in the way of that. Easiest way to do that, probably the the out-turn draw. She could come all the way to the back one, sit 2 for now, too. You're not playing with a lot of ice here when you're playing that out-turn draw. If you're anywhere in the top 4 foot, you could leave a double. There's not a lot of room to bury. Thinking about the hit and roll off the third shot rock to at least make sure she's sitting 2 and get rid of another red stone that could end up on the board.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Well, apologies as we had a few technical issues just before the break, but you did get a chance to see the last few shots, and Kaitlyn Lodds with a nice final draw, able to pick up the single. She has the 4-2 lead as we begin play here in the 7th end. Center guard is splitting the line this time. The corner guard attempt. Kristen Gordon now being asked to come around the center guard. Still not a single deuce on the board. All single points. 4-2 Laws leads as we play here in the 7th. Kayla Skrlik wants to play the tight corner on this one. And try to utilize the two corners on the same side, see if she can't generate some offense. You got to be a little bit careful if you're Kayla Skrlik here. Yes, you'd love to get your deuce, maybe have a chance for 3 if you could. You do not want to get forced here. You certainly can't afford a steal. If you had the blank 7, you're still in the same boat playing 8. You get 2, you get to an extra end. If you could ever score 3 and 8, you could win. There have been plenty of big ends so far this weekend. It is good ice to generate offense. It's just been a tough game tonight. Key shots have been made at the right time to prevent any big ends from happening. Set up here early in this end, not great for the Laws team. Do you come in, do you throw another guard? You throw another guard, shot rock still exposed. It's going to be tough to peel yellows later. You could peel one at a time, but they're angled to come into something red. That's not great. blank, and certainly isn't the end of the world for the Laws team. If you're okay with a blank, you might just come in here. I think that's what they're looking at. Come in, try to get around the guard. Yes, your rocks are going to be grouped, but if you've got Skrlik playing hits at this point in the end, you might be able to get back to a blank situation. The lineup of the Rocks right now, not great for the Laws team, but the scoreboard's lining up really well for them so far. Coming into this game undefeated, they know they've got a playoff spot, a chance to secure one of the top 4 seeds with a win here. Room coming by. He'd like to bury a piece of this, leave the stagger. Gonna get just to a nibble of the 12-foot. Looking at playing the double guard onto the one that was just thrown, have the shooter roll towards the corner. She could play the double on the 2 reds that are in the rings too. Can't overcurl this. If you're going to overcurl it, you better overcurl it a lot. Roll away from that center line. And that's what they did. Ends up with a corner on the other side. That's not it's not a horrible result. If you're the Laws team, you'd love to get rid of some of those rocks, but it's hard to get rid of any more than one. I guess you could play a thin hit from the center line side, come towards the one that was just thrown, or you switch gears and throw the guard yourself, which is what they're talking about doing. And there's no easy double peel. This is not wrong. It's a good call, I think. The Skrlik team has some work to do just to open up the scoring area yet. That angle is just too long for us to judge it on the camera, but if yellow at the corner is angled to go by the red in the top 12 and onto the red in the 8-foot, you could ignore this whole situation and come around. Not saying you do it this early in the end, but I don't think you ever want to risk touching the red on that side if those yellows are lined up. The other way, sure.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
A little bonus commercial coverage for the Jet. They haven't even thrown the next shot. I like this much better than what she was looking at originally. You make the touch on this stone, get in behind the corner guards. And to me, it looks like the corners are lined up to go into that red at the top of the 8-foot. Which, you know, if worst came to worst and that's all you had at the end for 2, you'd play it. But if you move this red on the top of the 12-foot, you might have a way to get at that shot stone. Selena Negevin just looking to put up the guard. Boy, this needs to stop or it might overcurl. Just keeps on sliding. Covers the center line, but I think there's room to make the double. I think she can get enough of that red stone top of the 12-foot. In some trouble here this end, the Skrlik team. This is your chance to get out of it at least. Seeing a chance to score a multiple point here, but right now in danger of getting forced or perhaps even a steal. Needs this double. Hit this right. I'm not entirely certain that she couldn't make the double and roll to just bite the 12-foot. Stay right there would be good too. Makes the hit, catches the second one. Does stay all the way out of the rings, but in a really good spot. This is a nice double. This rock ends up in a good spot. It's promotable. It's also splittable. I think Kaitlyn Lawns probably has to make a play on it. Would like to sit right there, and she does. Well, decision time for Kayla Skrlik. She's looking at just playing the double peel. You make the double peel, you're definitely going to have a way to get in. The problem is you might be looking at getting forced here. I'm not sure. The only way I see for her to get in directly herself is a long tap back. Not an easy shot. Ashton makes the double peel, moves one of the corners as well. So Kaitlyn Law is looking to come around the 3 yellows. Now the question here is, how deep do you want to be? Because there is a chance. Kayla Skrlik thinks she's going to be forced anyway. It certainly looks like that's the possibility if she gets this buried. She might play the straight run back on the yellow. If she could ever stick it, she might have a chance for 2. So how deep do you want this? And do you want it dead buried or half in behind? Half in behind, she probably plays the hit and roll to the wide corner. There could still be a chance for 2. For bury this to half buried. Probably makes the run back a little tough. That'd be the best spot, I guess. That nice line coming in. This should walk over now. You got to bring this back now. You want to leave some separation in case she does try that run back. Make it as hard as possible. She's looking at coming around, trying to come around everything, including that stone in the top of the 8-foot. Didn't really even look at the run back. It might be just because it's a little bit long. That guard is a little bit more than 6 feet out in front, and you're another 2 feet. So it's 8 or 9 feet to run it back, and you need to stick it behind cover, or it really doesn't help you. Kayla Skrlik looking with her first to come right around everything. She needs to get shot rock here. Boy, this is getting tight to the line on that red stone in the rings. If she bounces off, it will be open. Got to get it by. They do, and look at that. You've got a stone that's the top of the 8-foot. You bury around it in front of the tee line. In the 4-foot, and it is still probably at least a third buried. That's a tough shot. Good shot. Kaitlyn Law's going to have a chance to get it out. I don't think there's anything you could have done that wasn't going to give her a chance to get it out, but this is going to be a tough shot. It's a finesse shot. It's tricky. Probably half a rock by the guard, a little bit more than half a rock by the red stone. Doesn't need to hold her shooter, just needs to make the yellow one go away. They're on the brush right away. I didn't think she was wide for sure. This is all over the front. Really not much of a panic sweep. That's almost like they gave up on that one as soon as she let it go. So Kayla Skrlik will have her chance here to get her 2 points. Tie this game. Looking at the draw, now wondering, did they just play the hit on that? She's got the 4-foot. It has been tricky ice to draw on tonight. And she does only have the one brusher. of the 8. Jerry Lynn, edge of 4. To me, that ice is definitely trying to come off the red. Boy, they're going to have to go for line here. Hand weight. Has her chance for 2. Has to get to the forefoot. Skrlik on it all the way down. And it will come up just a little bit short. Kayla Skrlik picks up a single. It is the 7th single of this game. Kayla Laws has one more of them than Kayla does. She's got a 4-3 lead, and she will take last rock into the 8th. Sean Joyce watching with you from the Saville Shootout. 8th end action coming up right after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushue, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Not even a chance. A couple of tough shots to finish that 7th end. It's just a single point that goes onto the board for Kayla Skrlik. She's trailing as we begin play here in the 8th. And the center guard throwing with the first stone off the center line again. You do have the option to play the tick shot here. Looks like they're going to play the come around anyway. They'll come to rest, biting the top of the button. Now for Kayla Skrlik, needing a steal here just to get to an extra end. Going to try to play the second guard in that center line area, and the indication was she wants them lined up. It's always a part of the question. When the first one's not touching the center line, do you line them up or do you touch the center on the second one? Because if both of these are off the center line, they'd have the either-or tick shot, and that's what they're going to have because that did not touch the line. Still not going to play it. This surprises me. I thought they'd play the tick here for sure. Gordon brings her second stone into the top of the 12-foot. Jerry Lynn Ramsey will have to go to the intern now to try to come around everything right to the face of that stone at the top of the button, and this is the 5th stone at the end, so you don't have to tick them on the next stone. You can start peeling. Kayla Skrlik coming out halfway to help on the brush. This is just going to come up short. Does overlap, so it's still tough to make any kind of a double peel. She can only make one, and it's probably just the long one. Now the problem for Kayla Skrlik is there is room to blast a lot of rocks out, so you have to play the long guard for a couple first, and you maybe do. I think that's what they're looking at. You play a couple of long guards, let the Laws team throw a few peels as long as you're only peeling one at a time. At some point in time, though, you're going to have to make a decision. What's your play into the house going to be? Like, you still got the wide in turn, try to freeze that shot stone, but it's tough to move it with one rock. You do have the double through the middle, but then you're going to be no better than 12 foot yourself, and they will play the double peel on the guards. Boy, you sure don't want to bring this in tight enough to give them a chance to move all of them, and you might have done that. There is a little risk in playing it that you could jam it onto your own in the 12 foot, but I don't think you worry about that. If it makes all the guards go away, that's just fine. Half a rock on the outside across the face of the second one. You move all 3 yellows. It might jam in the 12 foot, but that might not be bad. Could just straight peel the tightest of the 3 guards too. You can see half of it. Looks like with that broom they are going to try to make the triple. Again, it's coming back into that red at the top 12. Hard to say if it'll stick right there. I don't think it matters. You know, you get rid of the 3 guards. Even if the yellow dead sticks in the 12 foot, it's a better situation for you than what you're looking at right now. Boy, if it ever spills off the center line, you're golden then. Gets one, just touches the second one, at least gets rid of the overlap. That's still better. So for Skrlik, you got to try to play the freeze now. You know they're going to peel the center guard. You'll have to put it back maybe a couple of times. Just the 3rd stones left to come. This is the first of the 3rd stones. Well, we're only playing with 3 players. I guess the second of them, but not going to get the line here. Important to stay somewhere in the back of the 4 foot, because that is still a rock that, with a little bite at the back of the 4 foot, if you get a chance to play something at the top later, you could sit 2 biting the 4 foot. Maybe get a chance to steal one that way. For now, Selena Negevin a chance to peel the corner or peel the center guard. does. Decision now. Do you play to the red one or do you play the guard? If you're playing the guard, I don't think you want it that far over. I think if you're playing the guard, you've got to be a few inches off the center line broom side where there's a chance that she jams it either way, and leave the double on the reds available so she can't really ignore the guard. Going to get this pretty much right where she called for it. I'm just not sure that where she called for it was the right spot. A little too high. The line is good for what they called. Just having it that far over the peel, there's not much danger of jamming it on anything. Now I think you have to freeze that red stone on the top of the forefoot. Maybe even have to tap it. Freeze might not be good enough. Well, she gets the freeze, but the problem with that, you run the red back onto the yellow. With the drag, both of those yellows are going. And they were pretty quick to make their decision there. I think they might have been better off to try to tap that behind the tee line. Let her hit whatever you put in the rings, but you needed something where you knew you were going to have a good shot on your last one, and now all the yellows could go because of the drag. Red onto yellow. The top yellow should go straight sideways out. And that back red will drag enough that it clips the one at the back of the forefoot. Shooter should roll off the center line a bit. It's not really going to have anything to hide behind. This has got to curl up a little bit. It's close. Oh, did not get the drag. That's surprising. I think they were sure it was going that way. I was certainly sure it was going that way. I can't think of any good reason. She's looking at hitting that. She's already shot rock at the back of the forefoot. I'm not sure why she's hitting this. You're going to leave an easier shot by hitting this than what you would if you play some kind of a draw. You're already shot rock. If you hit this, you can't hit it on the nose because you jam it. You hit and roll to the corner, you're going to leave an easier shot. absolutely have to steal here. Your best bet to steal is if you could come around with the out turn. That's what she's looking at. And just get a sliver underneath that red. You don't even need to be full 4-foot. Nothing out of the brush early now on the inside, trying to hold the line. Boy, she has to get by that red. She doesn't want to promote it. That line looks like it's holding. Oh, weight looks like it's plenty. Will come to rest. Does grab a piece of the button, so she's going to have to play weight to move it. And that's the thing. With any kind of weight to move it, there's always the risk of not just a steal of 1, a steal of 2 here is not completely impossible. There's not a lot of room between those rocks, but you probably have to run the red. It's just too tough to get to the yellow directly, I think. Looks like with that amount of space between them, it looks like the only way you could hurt yourself is if you over curl this a bit. And if it ever just rubbed that stone on the button, you might not get either one of them out. She hits 2/3 to 3/4 on the high side. She should just dead stuff it, pick up her single point, move on to the quarterfinals tomorrow. Kaytlyn Laws with the final stone here, coming home. She's got the 1-point lead, facing 2 right now, and needs to play the short angle run on her own. Line's close. Makes the hit. Dead stuffs it on that stone on the button. She will pick up the win. Kaytlyn Laws moves to 4-0. She will be one of the top 4 seeds when the playoffs start tomorrow. One final look at this game-winning shot. She had to play a tricky shot. Nice shot for Kayla Skrlik on her last one to force this attempt. Certainly had given herself a chance to pick up the steal, but it is a single point for Kaytlyn Laws. She picks up the win. That does mean that there will be a 2-2 team making it into the playoffs, but we don't have access to all the numbers to figure out who's going to win that tie-breaking scenario. A lot of teams could be involved. You'll find out tomorrow morning with us who's through to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal action in the morning, semis later on, in the finals later tomorrow afternoon. You will have all the action right here on the Curling Stadium Network. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name's Sean Joyce. My production team has been Connor Sims. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. See you back here tomorrow morning.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.